guys, I'm asking you to consider homage.com for all of your apparel needs. If you like these cool NBA Jam t-shirts like the one I'm wearing right here for the Philadelphia 76ers, there is a bevy of options at homage.com. And the great news about homage.com is I am an affiliate sponsor. The Cajun Cardboard channel is an affiliate sponsor of homage.com. And if you go into my YouTube description in the top right, you can click a link that'll direct you to homage.com, and then every purchase you make on the site supports the Cajun Cardboard channel. Hey guys, Brian with Cajun Cardboard coming at you with another mail day, number 105. You're probably watching this on a Saturday. This is going to be a pretty basic, straightforward, nothing absolutely bananas. I do have two non-Jordan cards in here, which is rare recently because I've been so Jordan-centric lately and pushing further into the cards in the Jordan MJ hierarchy that I don't have. And so I did add two other PC cards to this. I have kind of started to liquidate my Shaquille O'Neal PC. So if anybody's interested in some of those Shaquille cards, either trading Jordans that I don't have for the Shaqs or buying the Shaqs so I can go buy more MJ cards, let me know. I decided to kind of flip that switch, and I moved a big chunk of cards to at Northeast Sports Cards, the great Josh Dawson. Bought some big-time Shaq PSA 10 inserts from me, and then I did a monster trade with David Owens at Riverfront Collectibles, one of the best and the baddest dealers in the country, and did a big deal with him to bring in some Jordan Atomic Refractors and a Never Compromised Jordan PSA 10. So a couple of big deals, Shaq for Jordan deals, to push a little bit further into the Jordan PC for me. Here we go. This is mail day number 105. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 cards, but this is going to be a quick one, so buckle up. Nothing super crazy. Starting from the top, I accidentally bought the same card twice, and we're talking about the 1999 Upper Deck Jamboree number J1. This is just the base, not the level 1 or the level 2. That is copy number 1 right there. This is a card that we do talk about in the Cajun Cardboard MJ hierarchy. It is clearly a tier 4 card. It's one of many 1999 Upper Deck insert cards, along with the Now Showing and the Wild and the I'm trying to think of some of the other ones that are in there. The Jamboree, I can't think of any of them right now, but pay attention, watch the tier 4 of the Cajun Cardboard hierarchy, and you'll see them. They're all sort of grouped together. Really good looking card. You know, it says Jamboree right there. Not to be confused with Jambalaya, which is a little foreboding, a little foreshadowing of what is to come in next week's mail day. Yes, I said Jambalaya. Jambalaya, sorry, I forgot I'm supposed to call it Jambalaya. Anyway, this Jamboree, I accidentally bought it twice. 1, 2 auctions. I'm getting old. I'm not paying attention. I bid on a card, I bid on another one, I was a high bidder on both, I won both, whatever, it is what it is. This is what the card looks like value-wise, and I'm assuming at least one of these was me, 250, 215, 215, 210, 225, and then somebody stole one way back here for 102 and then 300. So you're looking at a $200 to $250 card, something like that. That's the Upper Deck Jamboree 1999. Next on the list is a non-Jordan. Yeah, it's the Gold Money Shimmer. It's not serial numbered. I don't think it's serial numbered at all, is it? No, I don't think this card's serial numbered at all. I was thinking maybe it was a high serial number. I don't think it's serial numbered at all. I'm not familiar with the ultra modern Prism stuff. I just thought it was a really good looking card. I kind of saw these Monopoly cards when they came out. I looked for them in Targets and Walmarts. I never saw the damn things. But saw this one really, really cheap, and they looked really centered to me, and I was like, I know Prisms tend to grade well, so I figured there was maybe a 50-50 chance that it could grade a PSA 10. I like the card. I collect gold Lillard cards and gold Lillard inserts specifically. This, of course, is the Monopoly Parallel, and so I picked the card up and sent it to PSA, and it actually came back and I got a 10. So one of the rare occasions where I beat PSA. Another occasion where I beat PSA, I bought 10 of these raw because they all look super, super clean. And the front's always going to look real good on these because it's a super durable card, heavily embossed and real glossy on the front. But on the back is kind of where you'll see edge wear. And these all looked really good to me. Again, in PWCC's images, they're so high def and they're so crystal clear. It's going to look like the edges are shredded, but I promise you they're not. I bought these cards raw. I sent 10 of them to PSA. They came back 8, and then 8 of them came back men's size. Literally, all of them, almost all of them. I was like, this is bullshit. I know they're not men's size. There's not 8 men's size cards. I then resent 3 of them, and they came back, I think, 10, 10, 9. And then I was like, well, if it worked that time, let me do it again. I sent 3 more, and I think they came back 10, 10, 9 again. And so it just goes to show you there's really no rhyme or reason, and if you fail at first, just keep trying. But this Flair Anticipation Shaquille card here, I've got it pulled up. This card's been on a kind of a funny ride since 2021, but it's just typical of the cards. It is a Pop 24 only. Actually just sold one of these. This is another copy of the same card, so I'm down to 1. I had 2, now I'm down to 1. I do have those other raws that I haven't sent for grading, which I probably will, because if it's a 10, and you can see it's almost a $200 card. So recent sales, 175, 172, 205, 208. If you get back to 2021, you can see obviously things were crazy then. 395 and 416. Those I'm assuming are probably the highest price ever sold. Yeah, 416, 395, and then you're going to get into the year 2022. So probably looking at a 175 to 225 type card right there. Again, it's a Pop 24, but a fun little insert for Shaquille O'Neal. That is really affordable in raw condition. If you're willing to buy raw, and then you can, you've got a good eye for that kind of stuff, and then you can grade, you can really make some margins on Shaq inserts from the 90s, to be quite honest with you. Next, I picked up another copy. It was just too cheap, and I think it was on a PWCC Weekly Auction. I'm not really sure. This is like Pop 8 billion. This is a great looking 8 copy. The centering on the bottom is what's kind of screwed up, and you can always tell because the stars are not aligned, and so it's very much off top to center. It is even probably a little bit diamond cut, if you ask me. Maybe I'm crazy, but it looks to be a little bit diamond cut. But the left to right centering looks really good. But for an 8, this looks good to me. This is what an 8 is. It's a good looking 8. And so I added another copy into my collection. I still need to pick up that 10. 1991 Stay in School, PSA 8. I think I've got the whole set of this in PSA 8. I'm not really sure when, why, or how I picked this up or where it came from. I don't even know what's going on. I don't know how this card got into my mail day, to be quite honest. Oh, I graded this. I think I had a raw win, and I was like, well, I might as well grade it. I think I graded this card, and boy, is this thing crooked in that slab. I mean, like, really crooked in the slab. You can see it on the back. You can see it on the front. Really doesn't sit well in that slab. Sort of disappointing there. I think I have the whole set of this 1991 Nike Stay in School in PSA 8, if I'm not mistaken. And then this is an interesting little card. 1994, A Question of Sport. This is a card from the United Kingdom, from over across the pond. The answer is Michael Jordan. I'm not sure what the question was. I don't know. But Michael Jordan is the answer, and he's on the back. So interesting back to a card right there. Those were some of my favorite MJ shoes ever. He also wore a pair where it had red on the toe, and it was all red, and those were gorgeous. But of course, he's got that iconic, jersey number 9. This is from 1994. In a PSA 9, this Question of Sport card, look at this, it's a $40 card, right? 45, 47, 45, 40, 50, 64, 48, 43, whatever. $40 to $50 card at best. Not rare, high print run. Watch what happens when you type in PSA 10. The last one sold for $564. How about this? This card went 121, 190, 200, 564. I hope that is not the result of the Cajun MJ hierarchy. It shouldn't be, because this is not even a card that I feature in the hierarchy, because it's a foreign card, which falls under the oddball category, which I tried to kind of eliminate because there's so many of them. They're so complex, and they're really not mainstream. And so it really wasn't sort of the focal point. Again, it has meaning. I picked it up. I bought it. I put it on my collection. I'm probably not willing to pay $564 to pick up a PSA 10. But for a PSA 9 for $40, yeah, it's absolutely a card that I need to put into my PC for MJ. Next is a card that I wasn't super familiar with. I actually picked this up in a raw collection that I bought. I tried to grade it. It came back men's size. And I was like, same thing that I did with the Shaq. It came back men's size. And I was like, what is this? This doesn't make any sense. I sent it back, and it came back, and they graded it this time. I thought it was better than a 7. The edges and the surface and the corners are fine. There's nothing wrong with that. The centering obviously isn't great, but this is the 1996 Stadium Club Finest reprint, not the refractor, which is super rare and valuable, but just the reprint. I didn't think this card deserved a 7. I thought it was probably PSA 8 at worst with a outside shot at a 9. The left to right centering isn't great. I mean, we can all look at that and see. It's kind of cool because it's a chromium type card, kind of a retro replicating the original 101. I would never buy this card ever in my entire life, but it was part of that raw collection. And once it was in hand and I looked at pack odds, it's a card that I probably needed to grade, and so I just sent it for grading. And it took 2 times around, but it did end up getting graded. So 101 reprint right there, not the refractor, just the baby. And then next is the only big card that I purchased in this mail day, and this is the a card that is featured on the Cajun cardboard, MJ Hierarchy. This is the 1996 SPX Force, and this is the Jordan, Stackhouse, Mitch Richmond, and Latrell Sprewell. And you can see their faces are here in this holographic image. And you can see it's got their numbers and their position. And so you'll see 15 guard, that's Sprewell. 2 guard, that's Mitch Richmond. 23 guard, we know who that is. And then 42 guard forward, that's Stackhouse, who was supposed to be the next Michael Jordan, of course. And then you can see SPX Force. I just think this is a cool card. It's very intricately die cut. No subs on this card, which drives me bananas. But it is what it is. On the back, Latrell Sprewell kind of talks about talks about Richmond. Then, of course, there's Michael Jordan in 96, 97. He is on a mission to lead the Bulls to a 5th NBA championship as well as secure a 9th scoring title. And, of course, we know he would win the 5th and the 9th, and then he would win the 6th and the 10th. But that card's a pretty decent sized card right there. I don't think I looked it up. No, I didn't look that one up. But that is, I can't even remember what I paid, to be quite honest with you. I don't like buying BGS cards without subgrades, but I figure if I ever wanted to, I could always add the subgrades. So checked one off the box. The Silver Spotlight. This is a duplicate copy. I already had one PSA 8. I'm still chasing the PSA 10. I do not own it, but this is the 95 metal Silver Spotlight PSA 8. I recently posted on Instagram showing the difference between the Silver Spotlight and just the normal card number 13. This is a parallel to the base number 13 card. Everything that is silver on this card is gold on the base, and everything that is gold, including the ball and the name Michael Jordan, is silver on the other one. So it's almost an exact inverse of the base card, and I posted that on Instagram so you can get a nice, great comparison of the two. If you haven't followed me on Instagram, please do. I highly encourage you, if you collect basketball cards, whether it's Jordan or freaking, Matthew Dellavedova, you need to be on Instagram. It just makes collecting that much better. It's easier to educate yourself. It's a great way to share your collection, learn about other people's collections, find great cards you didn't even know existed. Instagram's just a great source, and I don't get paid by Instagram. If I could, let me know how, but I don't get paid by Instagram. So Silver Spotlight PSA 8 right there, still chasing the 10, but that's a duplicate of the 8. And then lastly is a pairing that I finally completed, and this is a really clean looking 8 copy, and it's an old PSA label, so I'm surprised it didn't get a better grade. Just really sharp image right there. The centering looks absolutely fantastic. The edges, the corners look great. I don't know why I got an 8, to be quite honest with you, but this is the 1992 Fleer Total D, one of Jordan's earliest paper inserts, one of those throwback retro, it just feels 80s, but it's 90s, real early Jordan year inserts. The Total D from 1992. The PSA 8 is a tiny card. And first, let me show you my pairing. There's my PSA 10, which somebody said is very off-center, and it's a little bit off left to right, but probably within tolerance. Honestly, it doesn't look any better or worse than the PSA 8, if you ask me. Yeah, I've got a PSA 8 and a PSA 10, and you guys know that's how I like to collect. The PSA 8, believe it or not, this card's run, and that's with the last one. That's mine right there at 150. I was happy about that price. I didn't want to chase too hard. The one before that sold 177, so 150 made me happy. But this card's up 48.5% over the last 6 months. Over 21 sales, the card's been as low as $90.81. I picked mine up for 150. The card's been as high as 177. I like it. It's just a good card. It's a pop 346. If we look at the pop report, 1,390, 391 have been graded. Look at the gem rate on this bad boy, 3 and 5. And of course, it's because it's got 8 black edges and 8 black corners. PSA 10 of this card, you're looking at a $7,920 sale. Let's see, over the last 2 years, the card's been as high as $9,600. So, again, PSA 10 is a whole nother level. PSA 9, you're looking at about a $370 card, and that card's actually got a different story. It tells a different story over the last 2 years in the PSA 8. Over the last 6 months, that card's down 20%, but as we saw over the last 6 months, the little PSA 8 is up almost 50%. So interesting disparity between those two, pricing patterns. Back to the list, just to summarize, the 2 Jamboree PSA 10s, I probably need to sell one, but I'm just too busy doing stuff right now, so I'll sell it at one point in the near future. The Monopoly Gold Shimmer that I beat PSA on, the Shaq that I beat PSA on, that's very rare you hear me say where I get 10s back, because normally I get kicked in the nuggets, you guys know me. PSA 889 Fleer sticker, PSA 8 Nike Stay in School, Question of Sport PSA 9, a Stadium Club Finest reprint PSA 7. That doesn't feel right to me. A PSA 7, I'm probably just going to list that card on the PWCC Weekly Auction. When I do that, by the way, and if you ever list cards on PWCC, or even if you're vaulting cards at PWCC, please consider using my promotional code. It's Cajun, all caps, CAJUN. It's a great way for you to support my channel and help me grow my channel without any money coming out of your pocket. If you put in the promo code Cajun when you submit cards to sell on the PWCC Weekly or Premier Auction, a chunk of PWCC's money comes back to me to support the Cajun Cardboard YouTube channel and this ad-free incredible content that you're getting. The SPX Force is probably the biggest card. Well, it is the biggest card that I picked up in this mail day. Again, hate the no subs. Got to do something about that. That's a Pop 6 and a BGS 9.5 slab, though. Silver Spotlight duplicate PSA 8, and then completed my 1992 Fleer Total D pairing, as you can see, with the 8 and the 10. So I'm set there. That's it, guys. That's the end of mail day number 105. For once, my 15-minute mail day was really close to being 15 minutes, 16 minutes. Not too bad. Thank you guys for watching, as always. I hope you're having a great weekend and enjoying life in and out of the hobby. Keep collecting. Stay positive in the hobby. And peace.